Hi, Lauren. Yeah, I was making the two videos actually for a specific person that contacted me about yeah, she or he. I'm not sure what's the gender of Lauren, but yeah. Um, she or he would like to know about the process of a foreigners, how I get into the BI toots, and what preparation that I did, and so on. And I figured out to it's more easier to make a video instead of typing it. And yeah, I was just trying to actually make this for Lauren. But when I tried to send it to her or his messenger, it says you need to recut the video, resize it, and otherwise it cannot be sent or so. It's because it's just so large file, and so I tried in his or her email, but it says the same. And I am not really good when it comes to cutting and resizing and whatnot with the videos and so on. I just find this. I tried in YouTube to upload and whatnot, and yeah, it works. And I can just um, uh, I can just actually put Lauren here as private or customized viewer for this, but I thought of like, oh, why not to make it as public so that maybe some of you also who are seeking for an additional information about the exam, then maybe this can also be helpful. Well, I had my explanation done for this kind of exams, the ACAVE, the BI TOETS, for my previous videos, but I did it in my own language, and not all yeah, not all that goes into my videos understand my language, Bisaya. So yeah, so maybe this is a nice idea that I am trying to make this in an English version. So yeah, and so I'll get started. Where am I? I am on the BI Toots clinical exam part. Yeah, so this is my second exam done in my BI Toots. So after you will have your practical exam, you will be guided in another room, which will you have your clinical exam. There you will also sit with your laptop, with your pen and paper beside you. And this time you don't have your you don't have your calculator with you because you don't need to calculate anything already, because you have done it in the first part, which is actually your practical exam. And you will be facing two BOR-DAILARs, as what they called it, two persons, basically, that will assess your how do you say, that will assess your level of everything. Basically, assess of how far do you know about clinical process, nursing process, whatnot, reasoning, as what we are to call it. And yeah, so first, you have to go through again with your case that was given to you, the first part of your exam, which is your practical exam. But you can also look your case again in the laptop that has been provided to you in the same room. And you are free to look into it, scroll down, scroll up, whatever you want, and you want an information. If ever you want an information or informations to be written in your paper, go ahead, or whatever you find handy for you. And any of the assessor, as we I think it's assessor or assessor in English, One of them will start the talk. They will say brief discussion, brief introduction about you, and then they will also give a brief introduction about themselves. So yeah, getting to know better part, not so deep, but just a shallow part. So you will say like, yeah, I am this, blah blah blah. I am here taking my BI tools because I am. Yeah, state your reason, whatever it is, why you are now taking your BI tools, and yeah, and after that one, yeah, okay, proceed, blah blah blah. Then they will say, okay, um, which case do you have? What handling did you perform in your practical exam earlier? So you will say, yeah, I did an injection, I did an injection, and I did an catheterization, and then they will say, why do you need to do the handling, that kind of handling, and why? What's wrong with your patient? And then you will state, yeah, I did this one. Basically we'll go through a brief short description of what is your case all about. So you will just go through with your case, make a summary, super summary of it. So you will say, I perform injection because uh, I perform an injection because my patient is having a days, blah 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 blah, blah. And then you binum all the whatever sickness that has been mentioned in your paper or in your case that has been shown to you. And you also say, yeah, I did also perform catheterization because yeah, if the doctor says so, then you will binum that yeah, because the doctor said so, because the patient is having difficulty urinating, she's having how do you say how do you say that for the past 24 hours she's having or he's having difficulty urinating and blah blah blah, discuss the bladder, blah blah. But any some just literally what you will read in the case that has been shown to you, make a brief summary out of that. And then later you will say, um, because clinical exam reasoning, it is being made, this exam is being made, I think it's because yeah, they know that you're capable. However, they will make a situation, they will ask situations, they will ask probable situations that are unexpected or expected already, and they will assess if you will know how to attend to the needs of the patient, what needs to be prioritized, what needs to be the second priority, and whatnot. And yeah, so one of the assessors asked, um, so the doctor how do you say the doctor prescribed anal catheterization, blah 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 blah. Yeah, because my case was that time is prostate hypertrophy, and yeah, and they said the doctor prescribed one time catheterization, how much and you had a 500 ml for the yeah anal catheterization. Do you think that was too much, or that is just okay, that is, what do you think? And then I said, yeah, actually that's kind of too much, and yeah, too much, but not so much. But this is okay, yes, but I'm not quite sure. So I still need to perform some additional how to say I need to perform some additional tests, or how to say it in Dutch, some matingen, in order for me to understood what is really wrong with my patient, or in order to assess further what is wrong with my patient, what is the present situation, and what is to be expected with what is to be expected problem or long term problem of my patient, or so it's. And then you really, I think you need to say that you, quote unquote, um you are not sure. If you are not sure, then you say you're not sure in order for you to insert the um in order for you to insert the part that you will do your assessment, basically, in order for you to let them see how you will assess the patient. That comes now your ABC method, your ABC, your airway, breathing, circulation, and whatnot. And yeah, so I did that, and then she said, "Okay, so what will you do now?" And then I asked like, oh, and before that, first, wait, let's see, this is really important. Yeah, this is proactive nursing sack book here. This is your pocketbook, and this is so important in your clinical reasoning, because some matingen, some measurements that you will need to know. You can learn it from here, like here. Before I mentioned about the ABC, your airway, breathing, circulation, whatnot, and so on. First, you need to do this. First, you need to mention that. Yeah, you need to do the early warning signs, the EWS, and that comes your you have to mention yeah, no, it's not so readable, but here you will have to assess the heart frequency, the blood pressure, the atom frequency, the temperature, the consciousness of the patients, and yeah, and based on that, it has I don't know if it will. Yeah, based on basta it has numbers, and once you will assess your patients, and you will get a score of 3 points or more. Basically, the patient needs a proper attention. That's the time that you will call a doctor already. Yeah, and that's why I super recommend this book, because in your clinical reasoning um, you will really need this um, how do you say, assessment guide. And after that one, I said, yeah, I just gather here. Yeah, because when I ask, yeah, is the patient is in the VAR? Is the patient in the VAR? Is the patient how to say that? Oh my God. Basta, is the patient is in the VAR? Is the patient in the VAR? Is the patient onrusta? Is the patient how do you say, angstig? And then she said, yeah, the patient's in the VAR. So, okay, I will get 1 point. And then I ask about yeah, the blood drug, the BP, the oh my God, the blood pressure of the patient is just normal. Actually, you basically I ask if the information is not, or if the information that I need to know is not written on the case that I had, or it's not written there. So I would like to know more. So I ask, since the blood pressure is not written there, so I ask, what's the blood pressure of the patient? And then the one of them will say, I don't know, it depends on them if they will make the blood pressure super low or super high, or just normal, or whatever. And in my case, it's hypotensive shock. So other how do you say, other matingen, it's just normal, but when I ask about the blood pressure, it's like the triangle is inverted, and BP is super low, the HR and the RR is super high. So I said, yeah, okay, I need to call my koleha, and I will make a double control if what if my assessment is yeah, maybe she'll have his or her own assessment too, but just to make sure, I will have a double control my koleha, and I will take a like, or I will compare if blah blah. Then my koleha said, yeah, we more or less we have this same assessment, like two or middle two to three, 2 to 3 ish points, but we are not sure. We are so it's like we think we are convinced that the patient needs more attention. I mean, patient has more problem than what is really written here, of what has been already assessed, but we are not so sure of what is it. So uh, just to be sure, then we will call the house arts. It is also important that you will mention first. You if you're not sure, double control with your coleha. That is that so you are doing the right volhorda, the right order of what you have to do. You don't just go directly to the house arts, and yeah. So because in yourself you are not sure yet, so maybe you double control with your coleha. Maybe your coleha has more is more knowledgeable than, or has more knowledge, knows more than what you know about the condition of the patient. So for sure, you can compare your knowledge with compare, like maybe she can help. And if she's not sure, or she has the same findings with you, then that's a time that yeah, you will have to um, call the doctor. So next, call the doctor, yeah. And call the doctor. This is important that you will, I think in clinics radiating, just my thought, I think most or all um you will really have to call the doctor, because again, I think they would like to know if how you will do it, how you will call the doctor, how you will what you will have to say to the doctor, what information will you have to convey to the doctor. It's like letting them see what you will say to the doctor, literally. And there your S bar will uh, you will let the assessor know how you will do your S bar. This is your situation, the background of the condition or the patient, then what is your assessment and your recommendation. This your S bar method. Your S bar, you will need this when you call the doctor. Yeah. And again, you can find it here on this book, on this green book that I showed you earlier. It's the same book. Proactive Nursing Sack book. Yeah. Color green. Yeah. So, and here, when you call the doctor, okay, your situation first. Your situation. So I said, yeah, hello. I am Benita. I am calling from, yeah, mention your place, and I'm calling from and behalf. I'm calling for Mefrau blah blah blah, and then you mention the geboortedatum, your the birthday, because it's first thing that they will have to check and click, and there it will pile up. Now if some information they will have to ask, like your BSN number, ID number or whatnot, then you will have to provide that one also. Then you will say is short explanation of how you why are you calling, what's the reason why you call. So you'll have to mention here that yeah, I'm calling for my blah 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 because it's just this case no, no, Minir has this case is so it's prostate hypertrophy blah 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 with prostate hypertrophy blah blah blah. Ik heb um, how do you say, you will mention, yeah, um the doctor prescribed, how do you say, the doctor prescribed in malakatitresatsi, and in malakatitresatsi an injection, but minir is nade katitresatsi, minir is still angst, blah blah blah, BP vital signs gedaan, versus vital signs gedaan, blah blah blah, and there you say, upon controlling the triangle is inverted, the BP is so low, RNH are so high, so this is it's like we're expecting a hypotensive shock, and early warning signs. It's actually 2 to 3, but since we are not we expected that the Meniere is having uh, a problem beyond what is written here in the assessment that he had. But however, we are not sure of what it is. That's why we did our vital functions, blah blah blah, and this we had. So they, when, because when they hear that, okay, early warning signs, if it's one, they, it will not bling their ears, but when you say it's 3 or up to 3, then they will, it's according to my teacher, if they will hear like, okay, early warning signs, it's a 3 or up, then they will say, okay, this needs an immediate attention, like that one. And then next, you will state the background, the background that has been written in your case. Like in my case, aside from prostate hypertrophy, I mean, you had diabetes mellitus type 2 or AIN, it's just COPD, and a lot of sickness. So you have to mention that one. And for diagnosis, if there's any diagnosis that has been done, you also mention that one. And under background also, you have to mention if what kind of medications is your patient taking as the moment. And for the assessment, here you can again mention, because you can again mention that you did vital signs, but this time you are more broad, no, you are more specific of which vital signs you did. And yeah, you mentioned also if it's normal, if it's expected to be just okay, or too high or whatnot. If there are labs, if there are lab results, you also mentioned that one. And yeah, you also mentioned here once again, that according to the vital signs that you did, and what are the results that you just had, you just had, does it require urgency, or is it just okay if the doctor will see the patient 3 days later or 1 week later? Eventually, you basically you will decide if what will the doctor do at this time, because it's because in my time, I said, we expected that these situations, this situation of Meniere needs an urgency. And she said, yeah, okay, I can go tomorrow, or I can go tomorrow in the afternoon. And I said no, no. And then when I said no, the other assessor said, no. So when can I, when when must I be there? And then I said, no, you need to be here, you need to be here 2 hours, or I think I mentioned like, no, you need to be here today if possible, if possible. Yeah, I mentioned an hour, because he said oh yeah, okay, but it will take me. Yeah, I think I told the doctor now, as in now, you need to go here, because otherwise, yeah, maybe the condition of the patient, it will get worse, or yeah, it will jeopardize the how do you say, the condition of the patient more than. I said, okay, but I need to. I think they mentioned about like, yeah, but I'm in my house still, so I need to travel there. And I said, yeah, okay, it's nine, it's 9 a.m. now, and you are expected here, and you are expected to be here 1 hour, 1 hour after. So, can we have enough sprack at around 10? And then he said, yeah, okay, 10. And then I said, okay. And then before I hung up, the other assessor asked, um, how do you say, but uh, but my colega is still on is on his way. Uh, what kind of intervention can you possibly do while waiting? And then I said, I can do Trendelenburg position for the patient. Yeah, while I wait for the doctor, and as much as possible, uh, yeah, Blivemar next to the patient, or close monitoring until the doctor arrives, or so it's. And then he said, yeah, okay, okay, okay. And then I said, and then before I hung up, I said, a doctor, I will just repeat what we just talked, and this is for clarification, or for bevestigen, for confirmation. Yeah, and today, the datum I mentioned today, blah blah blah, you will go in days of dealing for this camera, this for this mevrouw, and this days. Now we have an asprak 10 uur, and today now is 9 a.m. So after 1 hour, you are expected to be here. Klopt? Like, is it right? And I said, klopt. And I said, okay, fine na dag. And I said, yeah, okay, fine na dag. And then after that one, they will say, yeah, you can go out from the room. And then after a couple of minutes, we will call you back, and we will let you know if how you did in the clinical reasoning, or yeah. And then after that one, uh, they called me, yeah, par minuto later, and to go in again, and they said, yeah, it went fine with the sprek, and we heard what we want to hear, and it's just okay. I mean, the sprek, all over, it went well. And yeah, well, we cannot say that you passed in this bit of Hadalactutes overall, because it's not like you are okay here in this part and you are already geslaagd, you already passed. It has to be like, you are okay also in the praktijk, and you're okay also in the theory. So basically, it needs to be like three parts that you need to have voldoende scores or uitslag. And then I said, yeah, okay, at least, yeah, I have an idea now of how it went, or so. And yeah. And then after, they will say, yeah, good luck with your last exam, which is your theory. And yeah, fine enough. And then you will just say, you will go out from the room, and you will say, yeah, fine enough. And that's it with your clinical reasoning. It's really question and answer, and you really just have to defend your case, and know your case, know, um, in this part, I find this part, uh, among the three parts of the exam, three parts, the practice, clinical reasoning, and theory, I find this really the most difficult one, because um you really, it's like you need to know, as much as possible, all the sickness, and its symptoms, its signs and symptoms, its contraindications, its how do you say, the medicines, the whatnot, it's everything. And you have to talk in Dutch too, which makes it more triple, quadruple, how do you say, difficult. So it was really hard for me, but but just focus. You cannot really erase the fact that you are so nervous, and it will be really your greatest enemy at that time. But just focus on your case, and as much as possible, talk talk a lot so that you don't get lost with your ideas. The more you talk, the I don't know if it's true. If the more you talk, then the more the assessor don't ask about you. But I really don't know, because at that time I just really talk, 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 and because well, we really differ from each other. Yeah, it really depends on our style. But for me, if I make a pause, or I try to think, or like I go blank, and I just, maybe I cannot anymore deliver what I really wanted to say. So at that time, I just really keep on talking, and make use of your pen and your paper, and write there whatever you want to. You know, just act confident that what you are defending, and you get it, because you studied it, and then you really made a lot of effort, like so much effort in it, and just pray, and just believe that you really can do it, you can pass it, and just really be your best on that time, and you can do it.